Jordan, welcome to the show.
What's good, man? Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thanks for being here. So, for those that don't know you, do you want to give a little rundown on the type of stuff that you put out?
Yeah, cool, no problem. So, hello, guys. First of all, my name is Jordan, and my stage name, for those of you who don't know, is Jay Mitchell. That's how you see Jay Mitchell on the bottom. Um, so I'm a musician slash content creator, and yeah, so I have Instagram and TikTok. So if you want to um, follow me on Instagram at j.mitchellofficial and follow me on TikTok as the same j.mitchellofficial as well. Um, so I make content I talk about various stuff. So I talk about motivational stuff, stuff to keep people going. You know what I mean? I'm a very motivated individual. Never was always like this, believe it or not. I used to be the complete opposite, but that is why a lot of people relate to my videos. I even talk about this, how I came from like a place, a very dark place where I just never believed in myself, and actually
Mm.
I had to build these qualities within myself. So I make videos like that to motivate people, and I also make videos, um, also of course my music, but I also make a lot of videos that give people value, um, such as like how to spot fake friends, how to spot when this person is jealous of you, how to know when to cut someone off, um, when to trust your intuition, your gut feeling when you know that you shouldn't be associated with a certain group of people or in a
Right.
certain place. So yeah, man, I'm very awake when it comes to things like that. So yeah, that's the type of content I make. As far as the music, I make R&B slash hip hop, a little bit of drill as well. I'm kind of I like to just experiment. It's not really a one genre for
Hmm.
me. Um, but yeah, man, that's about it.
So, what made you want to get into music?
So with music, so yeah, man, it's been a long road since I was about 5, 6 years old. It all started with none other than Michael Jackson, rest in peace. So I remember telling my friends as well the other day. I was talking about this. I watched Thriller for the first time, and that literally when I watched that video Thriller, this was also back in the days we had the videotapes. This was no CDs, no streaming was available. So I popped that video in, watched Thriller, heard Thriller for the first time, and I was like, no, what is this? I need to do this, right? And it was like I just watching the way Michael Jackson was moving, the way, you know what I mean? He had the little movies scene right before the music came in, and it all merged together perfectly and it made sense. And I just listened to the way the instruments were working together as well, and it just I fell in love with music after that day, you know what I mean? After that, I started joining music classes. I started joining dance classes as well. Um, I started, you know what I mean, making my own music, built my own home studio, got some instruments myself. You know what I'm saying? As I said, I've got my keyboard here. I play this every week, almost every day. Um, so yeah, man, I just got inspired, um, heavily, immensely inspired by Michael Jackson and also Stevie Wonder and yeah, man. I just from that day forward, I've just was like, all right, this is what I want to do, and I'm passionate about this.
So yeah, I mean, Stevie my I have my own band, and we play a lot of cover songs, and Stevie Wonder is one of the artists
Right.
that we play. It's like the old music, like there's nothing wrong with modern music at all, but that old stuff, man, it's incredible.
Nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Especially with like, you know, what I mean, music like that. As we're speaking about Stevie Wonder, he's got music that's like there's certain artists, right, that their music is timeless. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder, even people like Elvis and stuff. You can play their music 100 years from now, and it will still sound fresh and new. You know what I mean? And then you got music these days that like you hear it one week and you're like, I'm bored of this.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't
Right.
get that with like artists like back in the day. Like you can never say to like, oh yeah, that Michael Jackson song, yeah, that's old now. You don't really hear that.
Right. Yeah, I mean that yeah, that's the only thing that like disappoints me. And it's not like there's no modern artists where it's like it's all like that, but there are a decent amount of artists where it's like, the tunes like they're catchy and stuff, but they're forgettable. So like
Mm,
like you just said, you listen to them for a week and a month and you're like, "Oh, well this new one's out now, so let me just forget about this." But that old stuff
yeah,
like you're never going to stop listening to that.
yeah, man. Literally like um music these days. I was saying the dynamics of music and the what's the word? Ah, I forgot the
Like the
word, but you know
diversity.
what I mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The diversity is everyone likes to just stick to one. Whatever's popping and whatever's popular, they just like, all right, this is what we're doing. So it's like I feel like that is where music has a clash because back in the day, everyone was so unique. Everyone had their own style, their own identity. You could tell apart who was who. Nowadays, everyone
Mm,
just sounds the same. So
right.
you feel me? So like when I'm listening to music, I always I pick music apart in my head and I'm like, all right, I know this is a different artist, but you sound like X, Y, and Z, and you
Mm.
sound like several other people that I've heard before. You
What
feel me? So
Yeah. What do you think? What's your opinion on, the artists who are kind of making music about, because a lot of so to set the stage a little bit, a lot of artists in the past and now too make music pertaining to their lives, like their struggles, their addictions, stuff they've overcame, stuff like that. What do you think about the guys that are making music? So I think most of the time it's in like the drill music type aspect. What do you think about the guys who are making that music, but they're saying all this stuff, but that's not the life they're living now or have ever lived.
oh yeah, oh my gosh, it's funny you asked that question because I made a video about this on TikTok actually. Um, you know what I mean? I've never always listened to drill music personally, but it's only now I'm getting into drill because I've kind of I'm doing drill in my own way though. I'm doing like R&B drill, and I'm not
Mm,
talking about killing people. I'm not talking about robbing people and all of this. You know what I mean? What you usually hear in drill. I mostly kind of, you know what I mean? I listen to Central C and I listen to like other drill. I like how drill is now exiting and transitioning into this thing where like you don't have to be a gangster or you know what I
uh,
mean, or to do drill. You got singers on drill. You got rappers that are like, you know what I mean, school kids are hopping on it. You got people that are like, you know what I mean, that ain't about that lifestyle that are now like on drill beats and it's working. You feel me?
right.
Um, but I feel as though like the people that are rapping about or that are involved in drill music, but they are not about that life per se, they are they're messing with something they're not ready for. Because let me tell you something. So if like let's say I was one of those artists that was like, all right, I'm gonna put it this way, I'm a university student now, A-star student, never been involved in any of this stuff in my life, you know what I mean? Or a college kid, I'm just a good kid. But then I meet a guy down the road that's about that life, does everything that I want to rap about. I'm fantasized about his lifestyle. So, oh, this looks cool. Oh, this is what's gonna get me popular. People are gonna think
Mm,
I'm cool. Let me rap about this now. So now the guy that does that now, he takes that leap and puts that all in his lyrics, and then he makes a music video bragging about, oh, I got this knife and I've got this and I sell drugs and oh, don't mess with me because I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And then he walks out on the street now, and
oh,
yeah,
oh,
separate from the music, forgetting what he just put, the energy he put out there.
right.
Now people are gonna look at him. Oh, so you're that guy. And he gets approached by the guys that actually live that life now.
Mm,
That's where the karma strikes him at the end because now you're messing with a lifestyle that you're not ready for. And now the energy you're putting out, you're gonna get it back and they're not gonna be able to handle it. You feel me? So
right.
that's where the big mistake comes into because people forget that, the music you put out, right? People don't know you. So the energy you put out, there, you know what I mean? If I rap about selling drugs and killing people, people are gonna be like, oh, so you sell drugs and kill people. So if I put out a song talking about, oh, I'm a ladies man, I get all the girls. I could lie and say I'm a ladies man and get all the girls. You're gonna believe that because that's what you see,
Right.
right? So that's how. Have you noticed how so many rappers they've lost their lives over a song?
Yeah.
Yep, that happens
Because
in UK as well.
that's a like you just said, like these guys are putting their stuff out there, and like it's all fun and games, but like because you think
It's
it's cool,
terrible.
but like that's like dangerous stuff if you're not actually about that and you're putting
Very.
that out. Like it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea at all. Yeah, it's not a good idea at all. And as I said, a lot of people think that music is, oh, it's just music.
Hmm.
It's just sound. Oh, it's fun. No, music. This is why people. This is where people fall short. Music, yeah. There's a reason why music moves crowds. You can't get 15,000 people to move shouting on a microphone, guys, let's move. They'll look at you and ignore you. Put their favorite song on now. Put on a song that 15,000 people like, 15,000 people look up to. Put a guy in front of them that they look up to, and they will move. They will do backflips by that one guy because they like the music that he
Hmm.
puts out. You feel me? Music is
Yeah,
powerful. It can move mountains. So
and
whatever
it's
energy, that's what. Yeah, go on, go on.
I mean, just to add on to what you're saying, like it's expression. Like a lot of these people are expressing, what their lives are like, and you're coming out here and trying to fake, and not just with that, but just with any type of genre. Like you're singing and rapping about all this stuff that doesn't apply to you at all. It's like for what? You're not being
Mm,
authentic. So then also in the long run, even if you get some listeners, like people are gonna eventually catch on that you're not actually
yeah,
about that and you're faking what you're talking about, and then you're gonna lose all your followers and people who you thought liked your music because you're not being yourself.
yeah, literally. That's facts right there. Eventually it all catches up to you, man. Whether it's through social media, word of mouth, the people that they know, or the people that don't know you, you know what I mean? Um,
Right.
eventually, eventually, the truth will have to come out. What's done in the dark will come to light eventually.
Hmm.
Um, and as I said prior before, people people that do this, they're rapping or singing about a lifestyle that they're not prepared for. So you know what I mean? If you're rapping like you're some gang banger, you're some gangster, and you come out and gangsters approach you with that energy, now you're
Right.
boy,
It's
good luck.
exactly,
Good luck.
exactly. What do you think about the whole talk about selling your soul? What do you think about all that stuff?
Oh my god, that's a that's a scary topic. You know what? I'm not. Yeah, I will talk about this, but I'm not gonna say I know everything what goes
Right, right,
on
right.
with this because I haven't been there. I'm not in that industry yet,
Hmm.
but from what I've heard and from what I've seen from the outside looking in, I do believe, and I'm a Christian by the way, so you know what I mean. I'm very spiritual, so
Hmm.
I do believe from what I've seen so far there is some demonic energy going on in the music industry, and whoever says no, they're lying. Whoever says, "Oh no, it's just business," no, they're just doing it for laughs. Bullshit. That's BS. Because as I've said before, backing up from my last point, years ago, I'd say around, I don't know if you remember from when like people were claiming that Jay-Z and Kanye and Rihanna and Beyonce, they were like, oh, like the Illuminati and this, why are they putting the
Yes.
triangle in their video? Yeah, there was a whole season, like a whole frenzy, a whole season where everyone was just like Illuminati bashing them, like you lot are devil worshippers and this. But it wasn't just them. You had to like really look at it, like right. It weren't just them who was putting this triangle symbol in the videos.
Mm,
It was all of them. It was like
right.
the more you, the one moment you saw one, you started seeing it in every single music video.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
And the thing is, it's like to come out and deny the stuff is like you can't even deny it at this point because you can literally go on YouTube right now and search up
Literally,
compilation of music artists talking about the devil and talking about all this stuff, and then
and it's
it'll be
everywhere.
a 30-minute video of like 75 100 different artists talking about this stuff, like, yeah, I had to do
I'm
this
telling you.
to get into the industry and they make me do
Yeah,
this, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, and we still deny it. How do you still deny it after everyone's coming out and that? Because this is the thing, like, people, we're all so caught up with our own lives that like we can hear it and like we, oh yeah, sure, 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 but like we don't actually acknowledge it, like that's actually going
It's
on.
true. Yeah, that's so true, man. As I said, I think someone told me this before. Someone said the best way to hide the truth is in plain sight, right? And a lot of the time, right, these artists, even listen, people from the 90s and the 80s were talking about this shit.
Hmm.
And a lot of those artists that did speak about it, they're no longer with us.
Right.
They're dead. You feel me? Or if they're not dead, they've quit the music industry and they're just
Hmm.
living their regular lives.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself why, like, what drove these people to their death and what drove these people running away from the music industry if this
Hmm.
isn't in the music industry that we see today. And you know what I mean? And a lot of stuff, like, even, have you noticed now how they don't even hide it no more? You got people like Little Nas X.
It's just right out in the open and nobody seems to
Yeah,
care.
it's in your face. It's like, yeah, this is the devil.
Hmm.
I want to show you this is the devil. It's not like, oh, let's put it in a little lyric. And
Right.
Little Nas X literally introduced the devil to the world, right? And they did not listen here now. I don't know if you like Andrew Tate, but look how fast they got rid of Andrew Tate.
Hmm.
But then Little Nas X is all over your TV screen for your kids
There you
and your
go.
little nephews
There
to
you
watch and hear. That's enough said. I'm not gonna say no more than
go.
that, but
it's it because the way to sum it up, I mean, whoever the group is, whoever the people are up top, they have an agenda and they have certain things and concepts
right,
that they want to promote, and anyone else or anything else
right,
that gets big that isn't of their approval, they will get rid of, and they have the power to do that. And it's like,
literally,
and people, like, more people are waking up to this stuff now, which I think is good, but still the vast majority of people, like, nobody bats an eye. It's just like, all right, whatever.
yeah,
And it shouldn't be like that because it's, I don't know how much we can
it's
do,
a
but
shame.
until more people are like, all right, this is not okay, none of this is ever going to change, and it's only going to get worse.
Definitely, definitely. It's a shame, yeah, man. As I said, it's a shame, man, because you know what it is, and I think it also comes down to a lot of people. You got people like you and I that are awake to this stuff, but then you've also got, there's two type of people, man. There's people that are awake to this and aware of what's going on in the real world, and then you got people that are so desperate to make it, so desperate that they will go and do anything
Hmm.
possible to get where they want to get to, and they don't care if they have to. You know what I mean? I don't know if they got sacrifices in there, but if they
Right.
got to sacrifice someone, they won't even blink. There's people like
Hmm.
that. There's people that will, like, if they got to befriend you, if they got to act like they're friends with you, and then they call with you and they got to betray you in the end just to get step on you to get to where they need to get to, they will do that, and they won't even blink. They won't even think about it, bro.
So
So
it's a really, it's crazy stuff. I mean, it's like, how does this stuff happen?
I know. Um,
I mean, I mean, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like,
it's crazy,
it is what it is. Like, what am
crazy.
I? We can't really do that much about it. But in terms of the music industry, you think, I've heard a lot of talk of artists talking about, money in terms of how much they gain from when they sign with a label and stuff like that. And it seems to me as though artists
It's
aren't
not
really
worth it.
getting paid as to what they should be.
Ooh, interesting topic. I love this one. Yeah, so with record labels, let's say major labels, there's a pattern you have to notice, right? So the pattern is, have you noticed how an artist, they're so excited at first, they sign the contract, they want to tell everybody. They post it on social media, they take photos. Yeah, I made it. Yeah, I'm signing it. Once they sign that now, a lot of artists fall into this trap, right? And this is where the selling your soul part comes into, where a lot of people feel like, all right, you sold your soul. Um, but a lot of the times it's an artist, it's the artist that's being stupid as well. Because of the excitement of you seeing the contract and seeing, all right, once I sign this, I'm rich. Yeah.
Mm.
They fall into the trap of not reading the contract word for word. So in that contract, it could say, all right, we will own all your rights to this. We will own all your royalties. If you make any clothing line or any business venture, we will also own 80% of those profits as
Hmm.
well. Right? That's the type of shit that's in these contracts. Yeah. But they play off the excitement of you thinking, yes, I made it. Yeah, just sign it. Don't worry. Yeah, don't really worry about that. Sign it.
Hmm.
And then that's where everything fucks up. You don't own your masters, you don't own anything. When they give you the money as well, it's a loan. If you don't make that back, you're in debt now.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
my take on it. What do you think?
like you, as an artist, it's like, you get that call from that person or that record label, that really big producer, and you're like, all right, let's do it. Like, this is my time, right? And so
Yeah,
you're so in the moment of like, all right, like
in the
I
moment.
finally made it. This is like my dream come true. And so, all right, here's the
Can't do
paper.
that.
All right, sign, 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 right? And it's like you gotta. That's with anything in life, and it's like, that's what, like, like my father has taught me a lot about it. It's like, when you're signing anything in life, like, make sure you read everything, because you have no idea
You
what
have to,
that
bro.
stuff is going to say and stuff. So as for, like all that stuff that goes on, it's like I'm not gonna say who it is that I know, but I know
Mm,
somebody that was friends with, or maybe is still friends with, I'm not sure, some of the
mm,
influencers and some people that, are in Los Angeles now and in that scene, that were before, and he knew them before, and he said there was this guy, and, of course, not saying anyone's name, but
mm.
that he knew him growing up, and, he knew whatever, all the stuff about him. The guy never played guitar,
Okay.
never played an instrument, went to LA, got in the industry, whatever, and all of a sudden
Right.
he can just play guitar really well. And so something like that I've never heard
Wow.
before. Like, I've heard about all this selling your soul, but I've never heard about people like who haven't played an instrument able to all of a sudden play an instrument. So, like, now my
Wow.
question is, how does that work? Do they, like, kind of, is there a way to program somebody's
Interesting.
mind to just know how to do something like that?
Interesting. So
Yeah, so that's like it's a whole
yeah,
nother
that's
thing.
creepy. But yeah, that's creepy. I remember watching a video. This is why YouTube is my best friend, because I find out a lot. You can type anything in YouTube and you'll get it, man. I watched a video on YouTube, um, talking about, well, yeah, they were talking about this the satanic industry and stuff like that, and they mentioned how as I mentioned before, I'm a Christian. So in the Bible, right, it said that the devil was actually the head of music. He was an angel before he turned into the devil,
Mm,
right? And obviously, in the biblical days, he betrayed God because he wanted to be, oh, I'm God. Why should I worship God? And why should I do this when I've got all this music and I'm controlling all the angels? You know what I mean? So they said that the devil had the power to make anyone else, who, even people who don't have talent, yeah, you can even look this up. The devil was the head of music, and he would give all the people, right, musical talent, right,
mm,
to lead people to destruction, lead people down the wrong path. So this is linked to why they say that, like, oh, right, when you sell your soul, all you get all these fans, you get the fame, You'll be able to sing perfect pitch and dance and do all this other stuff. Nothing wrong with that if you've been doing that before. But you know what I mean? They say that the devil and selling your soul has this power of making a regular person be a phenomenal out of this world, you know what I mean, musician. So
Yeah.
that could
That's
probably link to it. I don't know if you believe in anything, but
right.
that's what people that's where it comes from anyway. But
But yeah, no, that's a
straight.
connection, definitely, if that's actually going on. And I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen any of those videos, but like there's videos of like celebrities on talk shows and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they just start acting like really weird. Like it's like they're programmed and like
Yeah.
they're
Modes
robots and like they'll just like
malfunctioning.
make, yeah, exactly. And it's like what is, like, are these real people? Are they like being controlled by, like, how mind control, stuff like that? Like, the CIA and all the government organizations, like they have accomplished things like mind control and stuff like that.
Yeah,
How to do it, I'm not aware of, and the public isn't. But this stuff is real. So like, I
it's
don't
real.
know how they're pulling the strings and stuff. Like, are these celebrities actually real people? Number one, are they
For real.
real people, and then they're just someone tapped into their minds so that they can adjust them to certain ways, change their personality, what they say, and stuff like that. It's just it's like unbelievable stuff.
Yep, it's so true. And I don't know, even I don't know I forgot this there was this lady. I don't know if it's Katy Perry or one of them. This lady, this she's a singer, yeah, white lady. And she at the end of her performance, her eye started rolling back. And she was walking on the stage acting like nothing happened, but her eyes were literally going crazy all over the place. And
Uh-huh.
she had to like literally she was tapping the side of her head and it stopped. Um if I get that I'm gonna pull that video up one day when I find it. But that
Right.
went viral. That went absolutely viral, and people are saying that that was I don't know if you heard about it, MK Ultra.
Yes.
They were saying that that was a episode of MK Ultra um, malfunctioning or something. But
Yeah, I mean that's the CIA's mind control
we don't
program
know.
that they ran for
Yeah,
years and years. So like, who knows what how they're using that today?
right. And we can't like what's funny about this stuff is that we can't say that it's real or it's fake because we don't know for sure. We don't know
Hmm.
we don't know we don't see what's going on behind the scenes. So
And we also all have such a distorted view of reality. Like, all this stuff is put in movies and TV shows, so it then
yeah.
distort. So a lot of this
Oh, this
stuff
is
is
only
real,
in
but
movies. Yeah.
exactly, so it distorts our reality. So like, oh, I've seen this in a movie, so like, if there's any trace of it
Can't
in
be
real
real.
life, it's not real.
It can't be
But
real.
like, it's so that's then another way for them to hide it in plain sight, and it's just like, it makes us not believe it's true because it's like, oh,
There
it
you
was in a
go.
movie, right? Science fiction.
There you go. But I'm so glad you brought that up because movies, movies is exposing a lot of shit and it's leaving a trail of
Yeah.
underlying truth as well, though. Do you watch The Simpsons? Have you watched The Simpsons before?
I haven't watched them consistently, but I have seen all of the stuff of how they predict the future and that stuff.
Right. Go back in The Simpsons, right, and watch the early. It's more in the earlier seasons when Simpsons first came about, and like I think it was like what the early 2000s or late 90s or something like that. Around those times, The Simpsons literally predicted everything from 9/11, the president, even Donald Trump being president. Um, Shockingly, there's even apparently like even how Obama and his he got his troops to kill Osama bin Laden.
Hmm.
They even had that shit in there, and so that goes to the question like how the hell did they put that stuff in cartoons from 16, 15 years ago, and now in real life this shit is happening? Like it can't make
Yeah.
any sense.
When you see a few of those things, you say to yourselves, "Oh, there's so, like, because The Simpsons is one of the like longest running TV shows. There's so many episodes, right? And but
So
so
many.
even if there's so many episodes, it's like, you could see a few of those and be like, all right, maybe it's coincidence. But like, the
Yeah.
amount of predictions that
If it's
there is no
time
way
and
that is
time.
it a coincidence.
Yeah, when something, you know what it is. it like you said, if something happens a couple or few times, all right, cool. Maybe it's a little coincidence going on there. But if it's like, all right, back to back to back to back to back, then it happens again and again. Now it's like, all right, no, there's some planning going into this now.
Yeah.
You know
Uh,
what I mean?
and
The
you just
Simpsons. It's been an ongoing thing, man. And this it's other me. It's not just The Simpsons. It's
hmm
movies that are in like, you know what I mean, theaters, like, well, we call it the cinema over here, but you guys call it movie theaters.
hmm
Um, so it's in these big movies like that are produced by big directors and everything. You know what I mean? But it goes past the naked eye, but it's in there.
yeah, and so then it also asks the question. It's like how many big artists or big producers up there, and how many of these guys are involved in this stuff and know what's going on. So then I also ask questions like so many people talk about like I've heard someone in my own personal life say like oh I want to be like a political candidate, I want to run for president one day, and like the knowledge that I have now, no matter how hard you try to run for president or be up there a senator, whatever this is, these I'm telling you, these people are pre-picked from birth. Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is all the president.
Not
Everyone's
anyone
always
can get
saying,
in there.
yeah, everyone's always saying, oh, it's like, oh, like I can do this. Like the president candidates, all the
It's
world
bad.
is a stage. It's a
The world is
stage.
a stage. The world is a stage, and listen, the world is a stage, right? And we're all in it, right? They plan. I don't want to go too deep into this, right?
hmm
But well, I'm not. Listen, I'm not no big famous person there yet, so I can talk about this stuff. But if I was one of like, say, I was like, have you seen the way Kanye West had his little meltdown and he was exposing everything?
Uh huh.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful. Now he's gone very careful. You notice how he's gone very quiet now?
Yeah.
Yeah. When they expose truth, they have to go quiet like that because it's life risk. It's a life threatening to
Right.
expose and talk
And
about certain things.
also, yeah, also like that whole yeah, of course like I don't know
They'll come for
everything,
you.
but that whole 100%, that whole thing with Kanye and the remarks and stuff like that, the whole situation that happened with that. I think to myself like, do like some of these people up here even believe what they're saying, or is this just another game to mess with the public and
Mm,
like, hey, you know what? You're whoever you're signed and right, you're controlled, and whoever is like telling you what to do, like you know what, say this in public tomorrow. Let's just see what happens, right? Like so a lot of
yeah,
the stuff, I think it's like this is a game to them. It's like how many people can we upset? How much negative stuff can we promote? It's like
it's true.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I do feel like sometimes they do test the waters as well. A lot of the time, you can't even trust when an artist actually, like, you can't trust when someone like Kanye West comes out and says, "Oh yeah, sacrificed this, and this person is part of this cult, and the reason why Thingy is dead because it." Sometimes you can't even trust that because, as I said, these people, like the way they move, they are very twisted. A lot of the time, as you said, the world is a stage to them,
hmm
right? A lot of the time they have fun picking and puzzling your brain just to see how you would
Right.
react as well. Because if they know that you react a certain way with what just happened with this as well, all right, yeah, now I know your weakness. Now I know how to pull a string here and I know how to adjust myself here so I can now control you lot.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I've done a lot of research on this stuff.
yeah,
It gets very deep. Not a lot of people understand it,
right.
but
And
yeah,
also it's also they you only hear, we're all a part of the everyday public. You only hear what they want you to hear, right? And so they also
yeah,
test the waters with like saying this and exposing this. But yeah, like going back to what we said before about the demonic stuff in the music, like some of the stuff that they're saying about like that people would usually label people as conspiracy theorists for talking about, like the government, the people in the industries, like they're all coming out and saying that this stuff is true, right? But like we're so brainwashed that even when people they come out and like say it, they know the reason they're saying it is because they know most people aren't going to listen and aren't going to care. So that's just another way for them to be like, all
Mm.
right, this is what we're doing, and then say that to the public, and everyone has an outrage for a week, and then the next day the next big story is coming out. You just completely forget about that.
Yeah, man. And a lot of these things also, I forgot to mention, can be a distraction from what's really going on.
Hmm.
It could be. It could be. All right, we got this planned. All right, let's make them pissed off this week. Let's make them. Let's get them angry for a year
Right.
while we slide this new agenda in.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Decoys.
It's
So
crazy stuff. But let's
crazy, crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, let's move on.
Let's go down a little bit to like more of our reality. So
Yeah, we could
how
talk about this all day.
yeah, absolutely. So some stuff that you've talked about on your TikTok page is the importance of networking. You want to dive into that?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh gosh, I've been doing some events through work and through off work as well. And I've just been networking. I've just been, you know what I mean? I've been in the scene. So you know what I mean? I arrive at certain events and I'm just like, okay, who can I meet today that's gonna like add value to what I'm doing already? All right, I'm an artist. Let me see if I can meet a producer. All right, you know what I mean? Let's see if I can meet someone who's in a band, an instrumentalist, someone who plays another instrument that I can't play. Let me see if I can um, rub elbows with someone who um, they host events, they make events, they're an organizer, so they can get me some shows or get me like you know what I mean,
Hmm.
things like that. So yeah, I went to a few events. I went to one down the road from me, quite close to me, and it was just an open mic. People just artists just singing and rapping, and you know what I mean. You got some producers there in the crowd as well, and I was just there. I was like, you know what? Let me just. I never usually do this as well. Usually I go there, I listen, and I go home. I went there
Hmm.
this time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch this up. Let me just give out my social media. Let me just spark a conversation, right? That one night I met three producers, got their Instagrams. I met a songwriter. Um, I found one guy that does open mics. So now, you know what I mean? And I also found another podcast guy just like you
Mm.
there. But imagine if I was to go to that event and I was like, all right, now I'm too shy. They don't know me. Uh, nothing's gonna happen out of this. Let me just go home.
Right.
Then I wouldn't have had no contacts. I just would have wasted the opportunity and just, you know what I mean, stuck to myself and I would have got nothing out of that. So networking is very important. You never know who you're gonna meet in that spot. You don't know that could be your team right there.
The networking aspect, it's you never when you go to an event like that, like you just said, you never know who you're gonna meet. If you go in and you say, "Oh, I could never meet anyone," it's like you're never gonna know. Like, and it's just everyday situations too. Like you go to the gym or you go for a walk somewhere and you look at someone, you're like you feel like starting a conversation. Like you never know what they do for a living. You never know what their passions are. You never know if they and some people won't want to talk to you, right? But like there's a lot of
Yeah,
people who like will be willing to. And you never know who you can meet.
you
That could
never
be your
know,
best
man.
that could be your best friend.
Literally. And jumping off what you said, you never know. This is why I keep telling people like networking is powerful because what you're not good at, you will network with someone. You might network with someone that is amazing at that particular thing
Mm,
that you need help with, and now that is that is now an opportunity for you to grow your art and to grow as a team as well, right? Um, is I always preach independence, but there's only so much you can do by yourself. You know what I mean? Um, you can't be a jack of all trades.
right.
Unfortunately, there's some things, you know what I mean, that other people might be highly skilled in that, as I said, might benefit you and that you can also learn from. So, and networking creates opportunities as well, like not even just for artists, like you can network and you can meet someone that's like, they can bring you to a show. I did that the
Mm-hmm.
other, yeah, last year, sorry. I was trying to get, a show, right? And I couldn't find anybody. Like I tried sending DMs. I tried calling people. Everyone's like, "Oh no, it's taken up. Oh, this person, they're not doing it anymore." So I was like, "Damn! Like, is there anybody out there?" I must have what did I do? Yeah, through social media. This happened through social media, right? I basically got a show by commenting on someone's photo. I was like, "Oh, that looks cool. Like, how can I get involved?" The guy literally seconds after, he was like, "All right, check your DM." Sent me his phone number. We chopped it up, had a phone call, and then after that, I was performing. I was performing
Damn.
the next day. So that's
Yeah.
networking for you
Yeah,
as well. It's
that's
not just in person; it's online as well. Just like we're networking. You hit me up online,
right.
and now here we are. So
Right.
there's multiple ways to network, but it's all down to, like, if you want to make it happen as well, you have to make it happen. And I feel like also a lot of people, they don't network because of fear as well. Some people, they're
Mm.
uneasy like talking to people they don't know. So you got to step out your comfort zone, man.
Yeah, and it's really powerful. I mean, it's like, with this podcast, like occasionally, like a few guests that I've had on, like they see my content, they reach out to me and like, hey, can I come on, right? But like most of the people I have on, like I reach out to them. Like if I didn't reach out, like I don't know what 20 something episodes released so far, right? And it's like
Yeah,
if I didn't reach out to anyone, I probably would have done like 2 episodes. Like it's like
exactly. Yeah,
like you have to
exactly.
you just have to put yourself out there. And the thing is,
Got to
like,
put yourself
there's
out there.
nothing to be afraid of because it's like, you never know what can happen. And even if I reach out to someone and they don't respond to me or whatever it is, or someone said no, it's like,
That's it.
okay, that's fine.
That's
At
fine.
least I
There's more.
tried.
There's
You don't have to ask yourself, oh, I wish I could talk to them, but I never even tried to reach out to them.
As you said, you got to put yourself out there. Like, when you get a rejection, when someone tells you no, a lot of people, you know what I mean? That a lot of people, when they get told no, or oh, that's not good enough, oh, I'm not feeling that, they think, oh, it's the end of the world. That's it. I quit.
Hmm.
No, like, that's not the only person in the world. You got all these other people. For one person that tells you no, there's probably 5, 10 other people that are, oh, I love this. Yeah, let's work. Let's do. So a lot of people, like, and I told someone this the other day as well. Don't stop giving so much power to the word no.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people, they get told no one time and they forget all the yeses they had. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? They forget all of their compliments, all of their progress, all of their accomplishments, and then they're like, "Oh, this person said no, and this person said I'm not good."
Uh-huh.
F that. Who cares?
Yeah. Dude,
Keep going.
like so many of us like choose to see the negative, and a lot of the times the negative isn't even the reality. Like some of the stuff is crazy. Like one of my favorite podcasters, Chris Williamson, he was on he went on someone else's podcast, and there was a clip that went out, and he was talking about, he's like, if you're 45 and you're a guy and your relationships with women have never worked, like nothing's ever worked out, it's like, okay, I can understand why you're retreating from dating, and you're like, oh, like women aren't this, right? But if you're 19 years old and your first girlfriend just broke up with you and you're saying it's the end of the world and no girl is ever going to love you,
Come on.
it's just how can you say that? And so I saw that clip and I was like, exactly. How do you quit after what you
One.
perceive as failure? It just doesn't make
Come on,
sense.
man. Yeah, that stuff, behavior like that. People, you, you know what's funny about that? Because I used to, yeah. Now we're on this topic as well. Like, I used to be that guy as well. I think every guy
Hmm.
that's had their first, you know what I mean? It
Right.
it it hits you in the chest, right? But as you get older and you start to, like, you know what I mean, deal with other women, or you move on with your life, you're focused on other stuff. You start to realize, well, I don't really care about that anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? After that first heartbreak, you're like, it is what it is. It's in the past.
Yeah.
So that's just like with your goals and everything, like with your, you know what I mean, with your career. I don't know. I don't care if you're doing a clothing line. You're a musician, podcaster. Like, you're gonna be told no by somebody,
Hmm.
right? But it's up to you if you're gonna let that no stop you, or you're gonna be motivated to like to turn that no into a yes. You feel
Right.
me? So I when people tell me no, I get motivated. I'm like, oh, okay, yo, you don't believe in me? Watch.
Right.
You wait there.
Yeah, you made a video on TikTok about, expressing your creative outlets and your passions in the workplace. Like you were talking about how, you might say, "Hey, I'm working on this," and then, all your coworkers who are like all they're doing is their job that they don't it might not be a job that is satisfactory to them or fulfilling, and they don't have anything else or they're not even trying to do anything else outside of it to better their situation. You
Yeah,
know, some people might support you and be like, "Oh, that's cool." But deep down, a lot of people are going to be envious of you, and they're going to be like, "Oh, why is this guy doing this?" And because they look at themselves and they're like, "I'm just sitting on my ass all day." It's like,
yeah,
what is he doing?
yeah. So yeah, man. I think I made about 2 videos of this on TikTok, and they got thousands of views. I was very surprised that I thought I was the only one who actually felt this way, but
Hmm.
through social media, TikTok especially, I was like, wow, a lot of people actually feel the same way and are going through this. Elaborating from that video and this topic, like this is advice to anyone that works anywhere. Even if you're a podcaster, you're writing a book, you do art, you're a musician, you're a dancer. If you have a dream, period, my advice, right? And I had to tell someone this the other day as well. I had this guy right in my job that was literally he didn't know. He was just telling everyone. I was just listening to him. He was telling everyone. He was having this conversation with this other guy at his job, at the job, right? And he literally, the guy was like, "Oh, so what did you get up to on the weekend?" This guy told him everything. He told him every single thing what he was doing. Oh yeah, no, so I was just working on the clothing line and this, and then I just went back to I had a photo shoot, and the whole time, right? I'm watching the other guy that's listening to him. He literally looks like he wants to rip his head off. Because you can tell, basically, I could tell that the guy that asked him, "What did you do over the weekend?" He's getting extremely jealous that the guy has stuff going on. So he's
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool," but he doesn't mean it. He really,
Mm.
I can see he feels some type of way,
he
right?
was he was expecting for him to say, "Oh, I just relaxed on Saturday, just put up my legs and just grilled on Sunday," so that he could relate
Yeah,
to him because he wanted someone to relate to. But once he saw that he couldn't relate to him, he's like,
can't
"Are
relate,
you kidding me right now? You're actually doing something with your life?"
can't relate. So I pulled him to the side, right? And I was like, yo, bro. I was like, listen, you gotta keep. I'm not saying you can't have a conversation about what you've been doing, but keep it to a minimum. Don't tell people
Hmm.
all of your plans, man. People are get very jealous out here.
Yeah,
Like you feel me? And after that, he was like, oh, I didn't even know. And after that, he's kept it on a. He doesn't even tell it anymore. And because
yeah.
like he sees how people react now, but some people they really don't know.
Right.
And
Yeah, my buddy Joe that I did a podcast with, he was telling me about, he's like, he keeps everything to himself. He rarely tells anyone he doesn't know anything unless he's like close with them and they're in his inner circle, right? Because he's like,
mm,
so many people, they like to ruin things, but if they don't know about
yeah,
it, they can't ruin it.
facts. What they don't know, that is gold right there. What someone doesn't know, they can't destroy it, right? And that was a lesson I learned when I got my very first job. I worked in McDonald's, yeah, and I was about 17, 18 years old. And I remember this is before I knew about this is before I had this knowledge, right?
Uh-huh.
I went in there and I was doing music, I was doing photo shoots, I was going all in, right? And I came into this workplace and I was literally telling the world, right? I told
Uh-huh.
everybody, yeah. And do you know what happened? After a year of doing that, these guys, right? And I swear to God, they made a group chat about me, right? A whole group chat, yeah, shitting on my stuff, making fun.
Uh-huh.
And someone close to me told me, did I say I respect this guy? He doesn't work anymore, but he was like, yo, bro. He was like, yo, you know, they made a group chat about you and they're literally making fun of everything you're doing.
Hmm.
And they literally like they're shitting on you. And these are the same people that was when they saw me. Oh, Jordan, nice to
Hmm.
meet you. So when I found that out, never again. I keep everything to myself. If they find out on their own, that's their call. But don't go around giving out business cards in work. Don't go around,
Right.
oh, yo, nah, man.
And
Protect your dreams.
it's crazy how much of a negative mindset so many people have because it's like,
Son,
I mean, I mean, I never really met anyone of like really doing anything when I was younger, so I didn't really have, I guess, the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna be jealous of them. But maybe I was at that point once. I can't pinpoint an exact situation, but I know now that I've grown to the point where it's like if I meet someone who's doing better than me or doing something different or they have this passion, it's like I'll just sit there and talk to you because I want to learn about what you're doing and I want to talk to you and be like, because it's like, why am I gonna look at someone doing better than me and be like,
why?
how are you doing better than me? It's like, good for you, man. Good for you. Like if somebody's doing better than me, I'm proud of you. Like there's nothing. I don't need to. It benefits nobody if you sit there and you just create that group chat and you talk shit about them
So
because
sad.
another thing Joe said, and this cliche saying, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you, and it's
Never.
because and I saw a video on TikTok the other day of some guy. He was talking about the guy who has a $10 million business, and you talk to him and you tell him, all right, I'm starting my business right now, and you have zero sales. He's not going to look at you and be like, oh, look at him, he has no money, he's not gaining any, he's not where I am, right? He's not saying that, and he's not judging you because he was once in that place. He was once in that place where he had to start the business from the ground up. With everything in life.
Yeah, I
If
saw that
somebody has
video.
yeah, and if somebody has like a good relationship or something, it's like someone's not looking at someone else and be like, oh, I'm so like you know that everybody starts from somewhere. Everybody needs to realize
Right,
that
right.
everyone starts from somewhere. And even if someone is like given stuff and they didn't have to work as hard, it's like it still won't benefit you to look at them and be like, "Oh, he has it all, and I have to work for it." It's like, yeah, it's like that's life, man. Like it's whatever. Because we all have this mentality of like it's like none of us want to do anything, right? We just want to sit back and be able to make $10 million and have the partner of our dreams. But it's like if you don't do anything in your life to make yourself better and actually increase your confidence and stuff like that, it's like if you're the shy guy who can't talk to girls, it's like how do you expect to have the girl of your dreams one day if you can't even talk to a girl? It's like you have to
Right.
put in. It's intimidating to put in the work when you're in that dark place. I get it, but you have to start somewhere because
You
you're
have
never
to.
gonna get anywhere if you don't start.
All facts, literally. This is stuff I had to literally while growing up, like through my teenage years. I used to be that guy that used to be complaining and, oh, why does this
Hmm.
guy have everything? And what? But then as you get older, as I got older, I realized, no, I'm not where I want to be mentally and physically because I'm making excuses and I'm not putting in the work. And that's called accountability.
Hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to look in the mirror and say, all right, I'm here because of me. You know what I mean? Um, I had to look myself dead in the mirror, dead in the eye, and say, "All right, I'm not talking. I don't have a girl. I'm not. I can't talk to women. I can't talk to people because I'm too. You know what I mean? I'm being too withdrawn. And I'm being too lazy to talk to people. I'm being
Hmm.
shy for no reason. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't look like an alien. I don't have one finger
Right.
and four eyes on my head. Why can't I go up to people and talk to people? This is me when I had anxiety, right?
Hmm.
I used to just be like, oh yeah, I can't talk to people. No, it's just this. I've got anxiety. F that. It
Yeah.
was all a cover up. You know what I mean? I was always in my head. And then one day, I remember I was like, I just went into F it mode. I was like, F this. I'm gonna talk up. I'm gonna each month I'm gonna talk to 3 people. Yeah, and I did that. Each time I got better, bruv. Yeah.
Hmm.
A lot of people like that's what I'm saying. They look at the next person and they think, oh, they're so lucky. You don't know what the work this
Right.
person had to do to get there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks good from the outside looking in, like, but you don't know that person probably. You don't know they probably started from the ground zero and they worked their way up there. So
Exactly. Nobody knows your journey. And man, I used to be the same way. Really anxious kid. What I didn't have the confidence to talk to another human being that I didn't know. Yeah, I would never go out of my way to try and talk to anyone, even if I wanted to. And that was something I
it's
struggled
fear,
with for a
man.
long time. And it's like, you know, the thing that I realize is the best thing to do when you look at someone who has something or a trait that you want is look at them and be like, okay, if you have the opportunity to talk to them to learn. Or, if they're just someone online, you can look at them and be like, all right, they have this personality trait that I want. What did he do to get to that place? And you could be like, all right, maybe I can apply that stuff to my life too. Maybe I can,
Mm,
like one thing you did, I'm going to go up to this amount of people a month just to talk to people. And it's like, that's how you get better, by practicing. And it's like,
practice.
and the thing is, it's like, it's all, everything in our mind it's an illusion. Like we're always looking at like, nobody's gonna want to talk to me, this and that, everything's gonna go wrong. It's all bullshit. Most of the
It's all
people
in the
that you go
mind.
up and talk to, they're gonna be eager to talk to you. They're gonna be eager to share their story and stuff like that because people love to talk about themselves. If I met someone on the street and I'm like, hey, what do you? If they have the time, if they're not rushing somewhere, and I'm like, hey, what do you do for a living? What do you like? People love to talk about themselves, man, and share information. So it's like all this stuff is an illusion, man. You got to get out of your head because once you get out of your head, you the doors open up. The doors open up because it's like you can meet so many incredible people, make
Facts.
so many great connections.
Facts.
What is the importance of believing in yourself? I know that ties into this.
That's a great question. Yeah, man, believing in it, self belief is is paramount. Self belief before you do anything. I don't care if you're cooking food. I don't care if you're doing a podcast. I don't care if you wanna. I don't care if you're doing vlogs. Anything, music. In order for people to take you seriously, right? Even if they don't take you seriously as well, because when you're starting out, people are gonna laugh at you. People laughed at me
Mm-hmm.
when I started doing my thing, right? And now they go on my TikTok. They're not laughing now, boy. They're
Right.
not laughing now. It's me that's laughing, right? But when I started, I'm gonna tell you this. When I started doing videos on TikTok, I had people privately sending my videos when I was starting, saying, "Oh, what is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he doing this? Why is he uploading YouTube videos? Like, what? Oh, he thinks he knows it all. Oh, this ain't gonna work out." And then you know what I mean. Here we are now. Like I'm getting people asking to interview me, bruv. Like now they wanna,
It's
you know what I mean. The same people that were making fun of me are asking me how did
mm-hmm.
you upload this video and get so much views and how did you get?
Yeah.
But it's because I believed in myself. I told people I was like, not told people, sorry. I told myself I was like, I don't care what no one says. They can laugh, talk, gossip. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because I know what I want to do, right? And not everyone is gonna see my vision, yeah. And you know what I mean. That's another thing. You have to believe in yourself so hard, yeah, that even people that don't see your vision, right, don't affect you because not everyone is gonna see your vision how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, let's take you as a podcast person, right, or whatever, right? You might be like, all right, I see myself being a big, amazing podcast person, right? And this is gonna get millions of views. People are gonna, you know what I mean? This is gonna create opportunities and doors are gonna open. You told that to 5 or 10 other people, and I guarantee you, right? Maybe not all of them, but I guarantee you most of them. Oh, that ain't gonna work. What if it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work? How can you? What do you think you are, KSI or something? You know, that's how people are, right? That's how people are. All it doesn't matter what race, background, what country, where you are. That's how majority of people think. You know why? Because they haven't accomplished anything, any visions of, or they might not even have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to just like believe in yourself no matter what people say or do or think about you. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's your vision, it's not theirs.
Right. You got to get to the point where it's like if your entire family, if all of your friends, everyone's saying it's not going to work out, but you want to do it, you cannot stop, because you're gonna live with regret for the rest of your life of like, I really wanted to do this, but since everyone else
That's
told me
what
I couldn't
pushes
do
me.
it. Mm-hmm.
That regret as well. That is another thing. I should have said that first. That regret. If you have an idea and you wake up every day and you think about this thing, right? And you let people's opinions, people who don't even care about you, yeah, people who don't even wish the best for you, you make them stop you, right? And you get to a certain age where you're like, I've wasted all these years just trying to fit in for other people,
Mm-hmm.
and my dreams have now gone to waste. That's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
That's like death before death, because
Yeah. Really.
you're alive witnessing, and you're gonna witness as well. This is a painful thing as well. You're gonna witness other people living your dream while
Mm.
you didn't work on yours. I can't. Nah, I'm not letting that happen, man.
It's like that's like
Sad.
sometimes I think back to myself I graduated high school last year, right? And I think to myself, wow, what if, because I started, my self-improvement journey, this stuff like my second year of high school. So I think to myself sometimes, what if what if I started back, 3 years ago? I would have made so much more progress, right? But
Yeah.
you know at least, but I'm still proud of myself to the point like, at least I started it now, because I could still be going to bed every night right now and be like, oh, I want to start a podcast, but I never did it. And then I can get to 60 years old and be like, I never did it. And it's like, how do you like, I can't like, you taking action on what you want. It's like, there's no better feeling than knowing that you're actually trying to do something and it's not just sitting in your mind.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying as well. At least, you know what I mean? When you're trying, at least when you're actually putting the needle forward and you're putting one foot further than the other with your ideas that you have in your head right now, you get there's this form of peace that goes in your mind
Mm,
that comes from this, that I'm actually doing this and I'm not talking about it, right?
right,
I've had to cut off a lot of people, right? You will meet a lot of people as well that are like this, that they fantasize about their dreams, but they never tried to do it though.
hmm,
Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, watch when I get this and this and this, but they're still not putting the foot forward. They're still not acting upon their dream, right?
right.
But when you start, when you finish editing this video, right, and you upload all your other videos, you look back and see that, oh, I've done all of this. There's this feeling, I can't explain it. There's this feeling of
Mhm.
fulfillment, like I actually did this. Do
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like I'm
It's
closer to where I
mhm,
was before. You know what I mean? Every
mhm.
time I complete a song, like when I'm doing music, when I complete a song, or when I do things like this, or when I like do a show or something, like I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm one step closer to my dream. That's how you should feel as well. So yeah, man.
Because this is the thing. You're up there, you're talking on stage, you're doing whatever you're passionate that you were once that one you once fantasized, but you're actually putting it into reality now. What could be reality now? What could have been is, while you were at that talk, there's another version of you in an alternate universe that is still laying in bed in that exact moment, dreaming about what you're doing right in that
Mm,
moment.
yeah,
Dreaming. I wish I could just go on stage and talk about this thing that I'm passionate about and actually connect with people, but no, I'm just laying here. It's just a dream.
just thinking.
It's like that. There's what once you can like the first time I in like when I first started playing drums, like my in like seventh grade or something, when I was like 14, 15 years old, my first time on stage. It's like, wow, like I've like I'm actually this is my first time actually, accomplishing something and actually performing in front of an audience. It's like, this it was when I first started playing, one thing that I fantasize about, that I was like, oh, imagine if I was able to play in front of a crowd. Wow, I'm actually doing that now. And it's
Yeah,
like to everyone watching, even if you're not like, if you're passionate about something, you have to go after it. If even if there's nothing now, like, you just try new things. You're gonna find something that you're gonna run with and you're gonna enjoy doing. And it's like there's man, it's like talking about this now. There's no better feeling than like knowing that you're actually trying to do it.
Yeah, man. Like what you said, you gotta try, man, and you gotta give it your all. Like sometimes it's not even about like a lot of people they get this discouraged, like, oh, like what if I'm not? What if? You gotta just put yourself in there and give it a shot. Because a lot of people as well, they stop themselves from thinking about what could not work instead of what can work.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah,
Right.
you gotta go for it.
Jordan, really appreciate you coming on today. It's been a great conversation.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, where can
Next
people
time.
check you out?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok and Instagram. So add me on Instagram at j.mitchell_official. So that is j.mitchell_official. And TikTok, I obviously TikTok's got it's a bit different. You've got two usernames. So if you can't find me with the j.mitchell_official, type in J Mizzy. So that is j.mizzzy. Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for
sounds
having me.
good. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning
Nice
in.
one.